We'll call to order the meeting of the Stark County Commission. Today is Tuesday, February 3rd, and it is 9:50 a.m. We'll start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I should mute. Okay, first item on the agenda is to ratify the agenda. Any additions, deletions?
I would like to do the addition for some payments to the road department.
Okay,
I think I sent them over to you this morning.
okay. Anything else?
I guess, at the last meeting, we discussed home rule a little bit. I don't know if anything's been progressed with that other than what Karen sent us, so I'd like to add that probably to the end of our agenda.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm not getting any visual on my Zoom, so should I try calling back in again? I didn't have any in the park board, but I didn't know if that was being recorded the same way as regular
Okay,
commission meetings, so I have,
Kelly's saying give him a minute.
And do we need to add the usage of that tractor, even though we're not, I think that's prepared, right, Todd? That contract for the
Okay.
university, it's prepared? Yep. We may not need it, but. So it's a waiver for future use.
Okay. Anything else? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, minutes you have in front of, we have two of them to approve. In front of you is the minutes from the January 6th meeting. Comments, corrections?
sorry.
Mr. Chairman, I'd move to approve the January 6th meeting minutes.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Claris, second by Commissioner White to approve the minutes of the January 6th meeting. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have in front of you minutes from the January 20th meeting.
Mr. Chair, I'd also move to approve the January 20th meeting minutes.
Okay, we have a motion to have a second
Second.
by Commissioner Franchuk. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Accounts payable. You have had circulated the bills, and we're going to add Commissioner White's request to those bills.
Let me pull it up here real quick. That is, excuse me if I make the names incorrect here. Ardella? Beverica?
Viverka?
Payments for $30,754.50. And then also, then we'll make the final payment in 2027 for that as well, right? Oh, and Ray, Rivera Jr. as well, yep, the two. So each of them the same amount, correct? Correct. $30,754.50.
Did you get that, Lon? Yep. Okay. Is that a motion, Commissioner White?
Yes.
Okay, I have a motion to pay the bills with the change. Do I get a second?
I'll second that.
By Commissioner Claris. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Commissioner White?
Aye.
Commissioner Claris?
Aye.
Commissioner Franchuk?
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. Thank you. Okay, we have a 10 o'clock hearing, so we're gonna put you after the abatement hearing. Is that okay? You can have some time. Okay, so we'll do years of recognition, easy for me to say, service. So we have two. We have recognition of Karen Richard, our auditor, celebrating 5 years, and John Shopper in the road department celebrating 10 years. So we will have a certificate for you shortly. Okay. Mr. Sheriff, can you get done in 6 minutes and 32 seconds? Okay.
Sure you can.
Let's take the Park Board Commission items then. That we would need action on. Actually, the bills are
Okay,
ready.
well, we approved the bills to pay for $262.88 and special project money for $58,863.
Yeah, okay, yep, and those are already in the spreadsheet that was sent out. I think what we'd want to do is codify the tractor lease waiver of liability,
Okay,
if you want to make that motion.
sure. I'll do that. I still have the visual though.
Okay. So we have a motion by Commissioner Marsh to approve the proposed tractor lease and waiver of liability form. Do I have a second?
Second.
By Commissioner Claris. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Whoops,
Aye.
sorry, Commissioner Marsh. Motion carries.
Aye.
Okay, so, John, if you want to come up, we have your 10-year certificate. Congratulations. Here, you wanna look at- There we go. And I'll have Karen sign recognition of 5 years as our auditor, actually in the auditor's office. There we go. Documented. There we go. Thanks.
I can actually get done in 2 minutes if you don't have any questions. Let's do it.
Okay, go for it.
All right, you guys have a copy of my report for the month of January. If you have any questions, I'll stand for those right now. Also, I think you guys are all aware of the fatality crash on Highway 85 a few days ago. I do need approval for out-of-state travel for Administrative Assistant Wandler. I believe you guys all have a copy of that. That is a training in Wisconsin, June 16th through the 20th. Looks like the total cost is about $458 to come out of our training budget. Travel is provided by BCI. So it just looks like it's per diem and some hotel stuff, so. Questions?
None here. Do we need an action item on the out-of-state travel?
Yes.
Okay,
I'll make the motion for the training, to come out of the training budget for one to go to training.
okay.
Can I also make a second motion?
Sure.
Also make the motion for the.
Well, let's do one at a time, real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So we have a motion on the out-of-state travel. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
By Commissioner Franchuk. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, go ahead, Commissioner White.
Make the motion for Sheriff Lee's office mental health screening contract to be signed.
Okay, do we have a motion by Commissioner White? Can we get a second?
Second.
By Commissioner Franchuk. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Commissioner White? Commissioner Franchuk?
Aye.
Commissioner Claris?
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion approved. Thank you.
And Corey, could you turn your microphone on, please?
It is on.
That's right.
For your,
We can assume it was him.
one more thing, just for, FYI for you guys, I did approach the Gladstone City Commission about raising the speed limit through Gladstone last night. From 25 to 35 miles per hour. It was met with great resistance, so they're not gonna do that, so FYI, if you get asked.
Thank you. Anything else, Sheriff? Okay, it is 10 o'clock. So we will, we have a public hearings on 3 abatements. We will start with Sanford's Grub and Pub. Is somebody from the city or? Sure.
I'll start.
Is this the one that's already?
Someone from Ryan LLC's on Zoom.
Okay. Is someone representing Sanford's on
This is Menard.
line?
The city, there's one of each.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I
I'll
see.
tell you.
Commissioner, I am,
Okay,
my name is Jim Dahl with Ryan LLC.
okay, thank you. We'll have Tax Director Wandler present it, and then we will, if you want to add anything to it.
Okay, Natalie Wandler, Stark County Tax Director. We have 3 abatements today from the city of Dickinson. Neil said we were gonna start with Sanford Pub, Grub and Pub. Let's see, and it's for the 2023, they filed for an abatement. The city of Dickinson did a reduction on it of $1,700,000. So the information that I sent out to you guys, or handed out to you guys, is basically the cover sheet of what the city did and then what Mr. Dickinson did for when he presented to the city, his, for each one. So they're all 3 in there. I have Menards first, but if you flip through, the Sanford Grub and Pub will be in there.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to hear from him first or if you want to hear from Ryan Inc. Either way, whichever way you guys want to do it.
So is Mr. Dahl representing Sanford's as well?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay,
All
so,
3.
yep, go ahead. Speak on the Sanford's one, please, Jim.
Yeah, sure. We originally submitted an abatement packet with an original offer of $1,432,500 based on primarily the rents that were in place in the property and what they were indicating from an income analysis. And then we also presented at the local commissioners meeting 3 sales that also supported a reduction in value. After discussion, we increased our offer to $1,700,000 and discussed that again with the local commissioners, and they agreed to it, and we agreed that it was a fair resolution, and so we'd like to continue with that value.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Dahl? What was the assessed value for 2024?
I don't have that right in front of me,
I think it's on the
but
sheet.
if you could give me a moment. The intent on this, Mr. Commissioner, was that we were gonna, because we're running out of time on the 2023, we wanted to prioritize that and get that in front of you now. And we were gonna work with the new assessor, Chris Dickinson, on 24, 25, and then potentially 26, if necessary.
Okay, thank you. I see it was in the cover letter.
Yeah, it's in
I didn't
there.
look down far enough on that.
24 and 25 is $2,318,900.
Okay, any other questions? What are your wishes?
Was that proposed to me?
No, unless you have something else, Mr. Dahl,
No, thank you.
This passed the city. They have
the
approved
city's
this.
recommendation was 1.7.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I'd move to approve the abatement to $1.7 million for Sanford, the RMR Group, Sanford's Grub and Pub,
For 2023.
for 2023.
Thank you.
I'll have to repeat that.
Come again?
Repeat your motion.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve the abatement, reducing the value of Sanford's Grub and Pub for the 2023 tax year to $1.7 million.
Okay, we have a motion to endorse the city's action for 1.7 million. Do I have a second?
Second.
By Commissioner White. Any other discussion? Questions? Hearing none, roll call vote. Commissioner Claris.
Aye.
Commissioner White.
Aye.
Commissioner Franchuk.
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. Okay. Let's go on to the second one. West Ridge Edition.
The Menards.
And the Menards, excuse me, sorry. Ms. Wanda?
The Menards, as far as the city of Dickinson goes, for the 2023 value, they made no change. So you guys can do. Unless,
Mr. Dahl?
Yeah, thank you again, and I appreciate the last approval. On the Menard case, we, the assessment's at $26,228,300. Our original offer was $20,600,000, and that was based on a cost valuation, which we believe to be the best approach in valuing a property like this. There just aren't a lot of good sales, if any. And the income analysis is pretty unpredictable as well, because there aren't a lot of single tenant, 180,000 square foot rental comps out there. So the cost approach for a property like this is typically the best approach to value. We utilize the Marshall Swift valuation manual, which is the nationally recognized manual and the go-to manual for appraisers. Again, the value we developed was $20,600,000. We increased our offer to $23,280,000, which is $130 a square foot. And that was not approved, but we feel that it should be considered again. We also looked at, on an equalization standpoint, the Walmart property, which is 10 years older, so we understand it may be lower value per square foot, but it was about 30% lower. And, Menards, our client, is, concerned with an equalization of understanding why theirs is so significantly higher. They've argued this with Dickinson in the past. We've represented Menards for years. And so we're once again doing that. We're hoping that we can try to get this figured out this year, and then moving forward in a more informal process with the city of Dickinson. But we'd like to ask that you consider our offer at $23,280,000 or $130 a square foot.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Dahl? Did you formalize that offer, Mr. Dahl? Do you know?
We did not formalize that, no. We originally formalized the offer of $20,600,000. But we did verbalize that offer at the county, or at the city level.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
What are your wishes? The city's recommendation is
was no change.
no change. Leave the value at 26,228,300. Any other questions? If not, can I entertain a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we keep the valuation as is for the 2023 year.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Claris to maintain the current valuation.
No second.
Second by Commissioner Franchuk. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Commissioner Claris.
Aye.
Commissioner Franchuk.
Aye.
Commissioner White.
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, last one, the Spartan Nash one.
That one, for the 2023 value, the original value was 10,879,500. The city made a motion to reduce it to 7.5 million.
Okay. Mr. Dahl?
Yes, thank you. On this one, we had an appraisal that was completed for financing that the client had done for a new loan. And so we have two North Dakota certified general appraisers that signed the report. One's a MAI nationally designated appraiser. Their conclusion of value was $5,630,000, which was, again, almost 50% lower than the assessment. So we submit that as our primary evidence, as I don't believe there's going to be anything stronger that we could come up with than two, state certified appraisers giving their opinion of value. In the end, we increased our offer to $6,360,000, which is, again, another 600,000, 700,000 higher than the appraisal. But the local commissioners concluded at $7.5 million. I'm not sure, I believe it's more of a round number than anything, but we'd like you to consider a further reduction just based upon this appraisal that we have in hand and we submitted as evidence.
Okay, any questions for, excuse me, for Mr. Dahl?
Just to be clear, what's he asking for officially?
6.3, you said?
Yeah, $6,360,000 or $120 a square foot.
So my question, Mr. Dahl, would be, in just taking a quick glance, I didn't dive into a 100-page report, but
Sure.
on some of the items that the appraisers came up with, number one, when he broke down, I realize you're focused on cost, but when he broke down, excuse me, the land valuation, he was significantly lower than at least three recent sales out in that area, or at least in Dickinson. And on, when you're talking 226,000 total square feet, that even $1 makes a significant difference. And then the other item was that I realize they're pulling comps of other national chain grocery stores, but they didn't even look at one commercial sale in their list of comps. Most of them, one of them was Bismarck, I believe, and most of them were out where they're from, Illinois and Indiana. So I guess I struggle with your proposal on that one a little bit, just because of that information.
Okay, yeah, I understand where you're coming from. On this one, we're not necessarily focused on the cost. This is, again, the appraisal, the sales comparison and the income approach to develop their value. Again, their conclusion for this property, for all of it, was $5,630,000. That, not our opinion, that's the certified appraiser's opinions of value. Our offer is, again, higher than that we're requesting. A settlement of $6,360,000. Again, that's based on all three approaches to value, not just a land valuation and cost approach. So, if again, we'd like you to consider a further reduction closer to the appraised value, but we're not asking you to go all the way down to that value.
Yeah, Thank you. Well, the other item that I struggle a little bit with is when they use income approach, they talk about a cap rate or an NOI return, and they had plugged into their appraisal a cap rate of 8.75 on the grocery store, but they took the gas station component under a different cap rate. So to a certain point, it's like, you know, you plug in a cap rate to verify a predetermined value. So I struggle with that a little bit, because if you just take the cap rate even down 1%, that takes that valuation over 7 million. So that's my only comments.
Could I respond to that real quickly?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, okay, thank you. They valued those as individual sites, as individual properties, and that's why they had two different cap rates that they selected. So our offer is an aggregate of the two sites that they valued separately, because that's how it's taxed. Otherwise, we would have, brought this up as individual abatements, but it's taxed as a single parcel, so that's how we presented the offer.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions for Mr. Dahl? Natalie, the recommendation from the city is,
The city went down to 7.5 million.
okay. Any other questions? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to set the 2023 value, motion reduced to $7,500,000.
By Commissioner Franchuk, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
By Commissioner Claris, any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Commissioner Franchuk,
Aye.
Commissioner Claris,
Aye.
Commissioner White,
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, back to regular agenda. The,
Thank you for your time, commissioners. We appreciate it.
yep, thank you, Jim. City of Dickinson, Mr. Dossinger, couple of proposals for us.
Okay. Well, good morning, Chairman, members of the commission. Thank you for having us today on the agenda. With me today, I have Deputy City Administrator Linda Carlson and Finance Director, and I also have Mayor Scott Decker with me today. So today we're here to talk about two agenda items. One is the land sale of the LEC property and the Armory complex, and also discuss the public safety sales tax. So we'll start off with the land sale of the city-owned property. So the first property we'll discuss is the Armory property right there shown in that picture. We did have a appraisal done of that property in late November. Did get those numbers back on the Armory property. As you can see, it did come back at $670,000 on our appraisal. That came back at $38.29 per square foot of the net building area. It also did come back at $13.26 per square foot based on the usable land area. On the second property, as you know, is the City of Dickinson does own the land underneath the Law Enforcement Center. We also had that a property appraised that came back at a little over $1.5 million based at $9 per square foot. So the City of Dickinson would like to offer the LEC land and the Armory for sale to the county for a purchase price of $2.5 million. We would have a few MOUs that we need to be put in place prior to sale. One would be for the continued use of the shooting range in the LEC by our police department. We do have several fiber optics that run into the LEC that the City of Dickinson currently uses for the museum. We would need an MOU in place for that. We'd also need a utility easement on some of the property of the Law Enforcement Center, basically, which is the extension of Sim Street. So basically from the museum north to basically where the fence runs on the south side of Interstate. And then the City of Dickinson would also like the right for the first refusal in case the county did decide to purchase it prior to the county ever selling it, that would be offered back to the city for sale. Attorney Engelstad and President Master did see a rough draft of a purchase agreement and these MOUs, and we're open for any type of discussion in the future regarding that property.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Dossinger? Other than the ask is different than the appraised value?
That is correct. We are open to discussion for that.
Okay.
So,
I think as stated earlier, I think the potential action here would be that we would take this under advisement, have a meeting here in 2 weeks, and give you some disposition on that, subject to the rest of the crew.
yeah, and we can certainly get,
Yep, that sounds good.
Yeah, so could we set a time, or how do you want, I mean, everybody here should at least walk through the facility and you know, how can we arrange that? What's your thoughts on that?
well, why don't, whatever date and time works best for you, I'll make arrangements so you guys can get access.
Okay,
into
because
that
if we do it
facility.
more than one commission, then we'd have to notice that as well, or more than 2 commissioners, excuse me.
What's everybody doing the 19th of February?
Well, I'd like to get individuals in there before, so you have some thought process time, and then, but I think our meeting, yeah, is, the intent is to come back on the 19th.
Yes, if you'd like to develop. a
Short-term,
schedule.
no, so we don't need much time.
Yeah, develop a schedule and send it to me, and I'll make sure we get you guys access
Okay.
to that.
Okay, any other questions?
Is that facility being used currently, right? I mean, there's utilization there, right?
That is correct. Currently, Dickinson Park and Rec uses it for the gym portion of it for their recreational
Okay.
basketball and volleyball leagues.
Okay, hearing no other questions, let's move on to your second item.
Okay, I'll invite Deputy Director Carlson up, so.
Good morning. This is going to be a presentation of some information to educate the public and the committee here. So we'll go forward. So what I have it listed as the current sales tax allocations, kind of give you some background on that, the city revenues that are collected, revenues that versus the budgets, and then the mayor will take over on the proposed draft. So currently, the sales tax in the city of Dickinson is 6.5%. 5% of that goes to the state, and 1.5% is actually what is collected by the city. Here is a graph here that shows just the small cities that are around Dickinson and where we compare to those small cities. And this is their city rate that they are collecting at this time. Here's some major city sales tax rates, and again, these are just their city sales tax that they are collecting for those and where we compare with that. This is a chart that shows on the small cities which counties have taken on with their city sales tax and what their total is at that 2.5, and New England is the only one with the Hettinger County with the small cities. Major cities, so with that, most of them do have a county tax. Dickinson, Jamestown do not. And you can see where their total tax rate is at this time. So city revenues collected, just to give you an idea of what is being collected on the 1% sales tax, this is a 5-year look back. And what we've collected in the years. And on the draft on the right-hand side of the data, you can see that in 25 over 24 is just a little over, just almost 300,000. And that's have new businesses in, and that helps that 1% sales tax. Our gross production tax that we received, this is a 5-year look back. And with this screen, you can also see that there's ups and downs, and I don't have a crystal ball or anything, but with the oil tax and the way things are going with this, we are probably looking at around the 21 amount coming in the next few years, too. This is going to go down. And this is, the oil tax is for our capital improvements, the growth of the city, and things like that. That's what this money is used for. Here's just a data, I'm a number person, sorry. But this is to show that 25 over 24, and you can see in the months that we received this money, that there's only 3 months there that we went over, but we're short over $1 million just from last year. So general fund property tax, this is just what we've levied. The blue columns is what we levied. And then the orange columns are what we actually received. So you can see that we're usually, from what we levy to what we receive, is around 200,000 short on that. So revenues versus the budgets, let's just see what, that looks like. So the department budgets, the public safety, we're showing these are what the budget amounts are. So you got blue for police, red for fire, and then starting in 2024, we took over the ambulance services. So we didn't start actually ambulance service until 25, but 24 was the purchase of the equipment to get forward and starting in January. So you can see where that is. And then the green one is our levy amounts and just comparing that to that. And just to have a little better look out of this, where this budget ends is you take those 3 budgets of the fire and the police and the EMS, total them up, and put that against where the general fund property tax is, and you're about around 30% of what their budget is. So with that, I'd stand for any questions that you may have on the informational.
Any questions for Ms. Carlson? Okay, thank you, Linda. Mr. Mayor.
Good morning, Chairman Messer, Commissioners. As you can see, we've thought this over and had multiple discussions on where to go and how to finance protective services for our community and the surrounding area of Stark County. It ultimately boiled down to proposing this safety tax, this 1 cent safety tax. And that proposal, as you can see, this is the language that would be on the ballot and how it would have to be presented. Our options are this June, or we wait 2 years. And I don't think that's an option. So what we are proposing as a city commission, this language to be put on the June ballot, and this would go to a vote of the people. And as you can see, we're asking for the county's support in this matter, and why. As, one would be a joint powers agreement between us and the county, which 20% of the revenue generated by this 1% would come back to the county for the sole purpose of funding county public safety. And that would go out to your surrounding area, your sheriff department, any services that are provided as safety services going forward. The help with advocating for this, it's going to benefit all those departments going forward. And as you can see, the cost that and the cost increases that we are incurring, it'll be likewise to the county over this period of time. So we're going out for this 1 cent sales tax, hoping that the individuals understand that it is not solely a Dickinson tax. This is the surrounding area, people that shop here. And with the presidential library coming into focus, being nominated as one of the places to see over the next 2 to 3 years, we are going to have a large influx of individuals that are going to be passing through the city of Dickinson using a lot of our services. And not only services as in hotels, restaurants, and convenience stores, there's going to be an impact to our EMS, our police, our fire, to Sheriff Lee's department. And we think this is the best way going forward to service that debt. How are we going to do this? Well, I know I've already been out talking to different coffee groups, different clubs, forums. I intend to increase that. I have the support of our commissioners to do likewise, and we would ask that getting the word out for this June primary, that you would help us do this. Ultimately, this is the way we're looking at, possibly the only way, with these increased costs going forward, and the unknowns with insurance too. I can tell you this, the insurance reimbursements, they trail about 90 days. And we've billed a significant portion and recouped not quite half. But like I said, that's in 6 months, and we're trailing. We'll see how that comes in over the next 90 days. But insurance is getting more and more difficult, as we know, across the nation. So this is a means that we can continue to provide this great service to our citizens while taking care of the influx of people into our community. So I'll stand for any questions.
So the insurance reimbursement, and I think Linda talked on it a little bit. You had given us billed amounts, collected amounts, year to date. Do you have that just to show that gap, reinforce that gap?
If I remember correctly, we were, at the end of the year, we were sitting at $1.6 million billed and recouped a little under 700,000.
Okay.
I think 686,000, somewhere in there. It was under 700,000 what we had recouped back. The demand is, one of the things that we have seen is a lot of the surrounding ambulances bring their patients to CHI. They're there, and then there's a request for further transfers. So we're seeing an increased demand there too, contemplating how much more staff we're gonna need just to keep up with the demand of transfers.
And I think some of this was discussed during the process of purchasing the ambulance service. I think I specifically asked what the collection amount was on that, and somebody roughly said about half.
Yeah.
So I think we planned for that, right?
Commissioner White, I think you are correct. We had that discussion. We're anticipating, we're hoping for better than half. We'll see in the next 90 days what we recoup over the first 6 months. We'll have a better report to get back to you.
I guess one comment I would make, Ms. Carlson's presentation, I think the most probably significant thing that she laid out here is the reduction in gross production tax that we're gonna receive in the coming years, and that's a real thing. Obviously, we see prices, and we're seeing a decline in oil actually produced in this state. That's a natural decline, so that's a reality that we're faced with.
Over the next couple of years, we're going to be facing some difficult challenges. Being a commodity-based economy out here, we rely on the energy production, but we also rely on other commodities such as agricultural, and so we'll be in flux for the next couple of years.
I had a question about the sales tax. So it says that the city of Dickinson, you gave us percentages for 1%, the dollar amounts for 1%, but it says the city of Dickinson collects 1.5. Where is the other 0.5?
Yeah, we're just giving you a perspective of what we would collect if we levied another 1 cent, the value. It's not we're excluding the other 0.5%. It's just, this is what the expectation would be if we levy 1%, about $7.5 million roughly, depending on new businesses and everything. It could even jump up to, 8 million. It could drop to 7 million, depending on the economy. But that's just basically a snapshot what 1 cent can be, and then you guys can do the 20% and say, okay, let's just take $7 million, where our expectation would be $1.4 million. So if it goes to 8 million, you could go as high as 1.6 million.
So do any of the other cities, counties, do any of them do this profit the 1 cent sharing, like you said, the 20% allocation to the county. Do you know of any other cities or counties that do this?
There are some examples across the state where they have had a joint agreement between park districts, between other entities that aren't allowed to levy a sales tax, much like yourselves. So there are examples across the state. I think Minot, they had one. Up in Grand Forks, they had one where they have this joint powers agreement. It would be spelled out that if your guys' situation changes, because I heard when we were sitting here, Commissioner Marsh brought up the possibility of home rule. We would address that in the joint powers agreement if your guys' situation changes.
Okay.
So quick question for you, Mr. Mayor. You as the city and us as a county are facing these 3% caps on future, property tax expenses. Have you run numbers if you are, or if this proposal is unsuccessful, how that would look as far as what that means to public safety from the city side?
Chairman Messer, I think the safety of our people is priority number one. So what we would have to look at is reevaluating our budget and where we're spending certain dollars on improvements, what we can possibly delay without affecting safety, and look at other cost-cutting measures. But right now, we're going forward with, I've gotten a very positive response to the groups that I've talked to. They understand that this is a tax, this is a consumption tax. And individuals coming through our community will be spending their dollars here, and we'll collect that, and that will help with the benefit all community members here, not only in Dickinson, but the whole county. So, but we will have to look at, yes, with the GPT going down, possibility of other things going down, we'll have to look at some other measures too if ultimately this we weren't successful in getting this 1 cent.
Thank you. Any other questions for the mayor? So your ask is that we execute both just the joint powers agreement as proposed on the public sales tax, public safety sales tax.
That is correct.
Okay. And again, I think we would again review that and bring that up at our meeting, whenever that date is. Sounds like the 19th.
Okay.
So,
Just a quick question. In the event it was actually approved to go into the June primary, that's when it would be on the ballot. When would it actually be put into motion?
Mrs. Carlson,
So if a sales tax goes through, then it goes and it's approved through, so it goes on June. We would not start collecting until March. We would start receiving as of April.
Okay,
that's by statute?
Yes.
Thank you.
very good.
there is a long lag in
Yeah.
collections.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's no, it's just, I see public safety, gross, less administrative expenses. You guys did take I don't see an et cetera or anything like that, because that's always the question.
No, this is for public safety, as it reads. This is for public safety. This is to fund our departments. That is, and the infrastructure that is needed, as it says in there too. As you know, we've had discussions. We need, because of the ambulance service, we need to look at building a new fire station downtown to accommodate some of that equipment. If you've toured the old facility, it's pretty packed in there right now, and there are some other things within that building that probably need to be addressed sooner than later, and we've gone out, explored different options, and right now the best option for us is to go forward with a new fire station downtown, which we're looking at locations, and we'll go from there. So a portion of this would help with the funding of that building.
Okay.
So
Well,
that's
really
in the
answers
that's in the
that.
language. So infrastructure, yes. Yep.
When this first came out, that was 7 extra million a year, was it? Was it proposed 7 million extra a year,
It would
that 1%?
1%. Given how the economy is,
Yeah.
roughly $7.5 million. Yes, would be collected from 1 cent. 1 cent sales tax collects more than we collect in property tax. We collect, as you saw in the graphs Mrs. Carlson provided you with, you saw what we collect in property tax, what we levy anyway. What we levy and what we ultimately collect are two different things.
Okay.
But you can see that 1 cent collects not quite double, but close to what we levy in property tax. And as Chairman Messer said, with this 3% cap, there is no way you get to offset the costs. I could be wrong on our numbers. I know our 3% increase this year is what, about $190,000? $189,000. And this is, of course, the year that we need to buy new police cars. So, so that $189,000 takes care of about 2.5 police cars. So.
Okay, any other questions for the mayor? Mr.
So I have a question. Population-wise, Stark County, and you probably don't have these numbers, what is the population of Stark County and what is the population of Dickinson versus on that 20%?
I would say Commissioner Marsh, the population from the last census, and anybody could probably Google this real quick, it's about 35,000. But I can tell you this, by the amount of wastewater that we treat, Dickinson is 30,000 people. And I'm just speculating on that, but the amount of wastewater we treat on a daily basis, if you put in a formula of about 60 to, depending on how you want it, 60 gallons per person to 80 gallons per person usage a day, which is a lot of water. If you think about 80 gallons, that's 2 full bathtubs. Now, if you remove the you remove the industrial, which is our refinery, that capacity that we treat from them is about 1,000 citizens a day. If you remove that and then you take that formula, however you want to figure it, 60 gallons, 80 gallons, it pushes Dickinson, the population of Dickinson, to 30,000, 31,000, that area. So if you look out into the county, and I don't have numbers for your outlying communities, but the census said that the county is about 35,000.
Yeah. So I can answer that question for you, okay. Commissioner Marsh. The last time it was calculated, 69% of Stark County residents lived in greater proper Dickinson.
Yeah, I think they had about 25,000 in Dickinson and 35 for the whole county.
Yeah, and like I said, the 25,000 is grossly underreported. The census did, the city of Dickinson did the whole West no favors in 2020. You know, it was COVID and everything else hit at that time. If you look up just for informational purposes, look up what they have Watford City as. You cannot tell me that there are 5,000 people in Watford City.
Right. You're right.
You know, so they're probably 3 times that in that area. And I like I said, if we're reported at around 26,000 on the census, I would say we're north of 30,000 just from the amount of waste that we treat, wastewater and solid waste that we treat. We are north of that. Again, I don't have the populations for Belfield, Richton, South Hart, outlying communities. The census says 36,000 for the whole county. I would argue that we're 30 to 31,000 just by how much product that we treat on a daily basis.
Okay. Any other questions? Thank you, folks. Do we have the draft MOU and the draft, the newly revised?
We can send that to you. There is one typo in the draft purchase agreement on a numbering process, but we can send over the correct information.
Okay, let's appreciate that.
Prior to that, so.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next item on the agenda, Mr. Miller, County Road Report.
Morning, Commissioners. Todd Miller, Stark County Road Superintendent. Just going to go over a few items, and then I got some requests. Road operations, crew operations, we repaired and serviced equipment for the road department, fairgrounds equipment, and weed department. We're servicing their equipment, since we had some time in the shop. We figured we'd get that knocked out for Travis, and that's working out pretty good. Scoria operations were completed from the Sickler pit to the Wiseman pit. I have that in here, but actually we decided to haul a little bit more to that pit. But we're hauling some material onto one of the lower maintenance roads south of, almost down by the county line area in the Leffert country. We're also doing some tree clearing and removal operations are going on still, and the county forces along the right of way for safety and eliminating snow issues and weather issues. We'll be hauling scoria, like I said, to a low maintenance road south of Dickinson, and so that's all being taken care of. But my first request for the commission is to approve a CMC revision. It's actually by federal highway for Dickinson and Stark County areas. And all I would need from you is to approve, a suggested motion is to approve the Stark County's acceptance of the proposed county major collectors revisions, by federal highway in, Dickinson and Stark County areas.
Okay, can I get a motion to that effect?
And if you have any questions on
Yeah,
those
or,
roads.
yeah, we can do that. If we can get a motion in a second, we can have
make
some.
that motion.
Okay, by Commissioner Claris,
Second.
second by Commissioner White. Any discussion? Questions? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, oh, Mr. Marsh. Opposed, same sign.
Said I were accepting it.
Okay. Those opposed, same sign, motion carries. Thank you. Next item.
Next item, I'm requesting for a commission to approve auditors to advertise for call for bids on equipment rentals, crushing, gravel crushing, fencing, and bituminous pavement. And just a suggested motion is to approve the 2026 call for bids for fencing, crushing, stockpiling, and bituminous pavement. So
Okay, can we get a motion to that effect?
Make a motion for the auditor put out for bidding for fencing, crushing. What else was there?
Bituminous.
bituminous pavement.
Okay.
Motion by Commissioner White. Can I get a second?
Second.
By Commissioner Franchuk. Any other discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I approve.
Okay. Those opposed, same sign, motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Commission. Next request, I have a waiver approval for operation of Stark County-owned equipment. This is just in case that if we have a contractor that we hire for hauling material, we don't want to sit there and wait and load, or if we don't have a loader operator, we don't want to have him sitting waiting. He could just go in and load. If they're experienced enough, we'll just have them sign this waiver of liability. If I could have your motion to approve that. If not, we won't do
Yeah,
that.
just did draft that, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to approve the waiver.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Discussion.
Does that waiver, I know waivers are, you can get a piece of, somebody to sign off on just about anybody and wash your hands. I remember as a kid, I went down a sledding hill one time and they made me sign something that it was, if I got hurt, that I wasn't gonna sue, but this is a heavy piece of machinery.
Right.
A lot of liability there on that for utilization, so, yeah, I mean, there's reasons why, there's instruction courses on how to operate them safely. I know most of our machinery, if you put, they got a 3-yard bucket on the front of them, you get them too heavy, you can roll them, you can tip them over. And, somebody's gonna argue with you on that. I know, the utilization of our equipment by somebody else, I'm not for.
Okay.
Any other discussion, questions? Okay,
I think though, then that's a broader discussion. Like, do you not want to lease the,
well, he's saying intermittent loads, where if there's,
Yeah,
if
if
there's
it's
a
a
piece of
non-
equipment sitting there, are you gonna confine it to loaders, or you can?
Right. I guess I'm still open to what we can do or can't do, or we shouldn't do.
And
Maybe
I-
we shouldn't do this.
And I'm totally fine if
Right.
somebody's driving a side dump and they come and they can show you their Swift card that they've done the Swift training on loading, you know, to sign off on a waiver, because then it's like a forklift card. OSHA only requires a competent person to show somebody else how to train and use that piece of equipment. But it shows there was some kind of other training that took place other than, yeah, I'm just a
Sign
truck
off, yeah.
driver, right?
Right.
You want to refine your,
Well,
we have a motion on the table, so we're gonna vote on it unless it gets changed.
and maybe that's an internal policy for the road department, that they only allow individuals who can show them their certification or whatever training that they need. I don't know.
Is that-
Not a discussion for me, but.
I guess is that something that we need to, if we were to do this, to have it changed in our handbook? Because in our handbook, it states no, only county employees only.
Well, there's a
The
reason.
other reason why I brought this up was
Yeah, there's-
because of that agreement was, actually, I think what first started this was because of the tractor, because that's county-owned equipment. And then we found the other agreement later on here, so, which was more detailed. So I don't know if maybe I don't need it, I guess.
Is it an
Maybe we
issue,
should-
is it an issue, big enough issue for your private contractors?
I don't think it is. We have hadn't, since we've not allowed it, we haven't hired anybody either, but I don't see us hiring in the future here for a little bit because financially it's tight budget.
Is this some of this when they come to the facility and have to load a truck if they're loading out gravel or dirt at the county shop and there's no operator there?
The only time is if we were to have them as lease drivers, you know, when we used to hire lease drivers. At one time, we had 24 lease drivers back in 2012 that we hired to haul material with us. So we had a numerous amount of semis running, but we shouldn't have been letting them load back then. But now, to cover, if we were to do that again, we would have this in place, but if, never thought of it the way Corey has thought of it here.
mean,
But
even-
it's a good big thing to bring up, so I would.
That they're qualified.
I suppose it depends who that
I mean, I
individual's
think I'd feel
employer
more
is.
comfortable if somebody from the road department, if, say, it's the blade, or it's a bucket, right?
Right.
And they spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes with somebody and saying, you know, this is how you operate this piece of equipment, this is what the expectation of the county is, sign here, sign your waiver, whatever. Somebody that says, hey, somebody is competent, is showed me how to use this piece of equipment.
Yeah, this is almost exclusively payloader.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And competent payloaders make
Yeah.
mistakes as well.
And would we have to define that, Amanda, as just a loader?
I would suggest, since we're early on this, maybe
Maybe
refine this one a little bit and
Okay.
bring it back next month. But
Fine with me.
we have a motion and a second, so unless those are withdrawn, we're gonna vote on it. Okay, any other discussion on that?
Do I need to withdraw my motion?
Well, either that or we're voting on them.
I'll withdraw my motion.
Commissioner Franchuk?
He made the motion.
Or you made
He
the
made the motion, okay.
Okay.
Now we're drawing.
Okay, so we will roll call on this motion. Commissioner Franchuk?
Aye.
Commissioner Claris?
Aye.
Commissioner White?
No.
Commissioner Marsh?
No?
Chair votes no. We'll ask you to refine it. Thank you.
Okay. Next thing I'm requesting for is the commission to approve Highlands Engineering for the engineering and bidding services for a bridge replacement project located on Second Avenue Northwest in the city of Belfield. And this is the project that's been approved by Flex Funding. And so I would recommend that you approve this to let Highlands Engineering move on.
I'll make that recommendation.
That motion?
Yes.
Okay, motion by Commissioner White,
Second.
by Commissioner Franchuk. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, projects, I think we have just one engineering firm here yet because the meeting got carried over. But, flex funding for the bridge replacement, of course, is the one that we just approved. We've been accepted for that in the city of Belfield, so that will be going on this summer. Flex funding for 3 road, segments that we submitted has been denied by the, committee at, when we submitted for 2026, 2027. 2 of those projects will be put on hold. And one will the one that's over by 8th Street southeast or southwest, east of the Loafing Jug. We're gonna try to get that on a highway safety improvement program funding if it's, see what that's available. Other than that, those will be on hold. The other thing going forward in 2026, we have a bridge replacement north of Richardson and also the ones in, the one in Belfield. And KLJ is working on that bridge replacement, so we can get that submitted for bidding. And, Andrew's not here this morning, so I don't have any further information on that as well. And then he also is working on the chip and fog seal for the Enchanted Highway area and then non-participating locations as well. And we have 5 structures that we need to be removed in the county and made into low water crossings we'll handle that ourselves instead of bidding those out. And we'll see if how that plays out for us. Also, we're gonna be doing hot and poured and rubber sealing operations will be coming up in the spring here, so we'll be out and about doing that and concentrating to the east of Dickinson. And we'll be blading and pulling shoulders this spring as well. So that's all I have.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Miller? Hearing none, thank you. We'll keep you at the podium just one quick second. I have on the agenda 137 First Avenue Southwest, which is a property that we have a tax forfeiture on that we're in ownership currently of. The city of Dickinson has started a condemnation. Actually, it didn't start the process. They finished it. The property is condemned. We need to move forward because if we don't do anything, the city will do it and bill us in that regard. We do have, I asked the city for a little window so that we can potentially do our own work on it in that regard, rather than, I did just have a casual conversation with a contractor, said, hey, go take a look at it. How much would it cost to demolish, haul away, backfill, and compact without the garage? And the estimate was 12 to 14,000 of values just for us, for our sakes. I know we have a spreadsheet that Karen has put forth earlier as far as, delinquent taxes, former assessed value, but I guess we need to do something and move forward on it. I know there's some potential interest out there, but that interest would be subject to city blessing to get rid of that condemnation action. So, Karen, commissioners want to,
So if the city removes the property, then they put it on as a special assessment.
correct?
So basically, you currently have, or the minimum price that the county could charge right now, you set 14,000, but it just has to be over what's owed in taxes. If the city tears that structure down, we have to add that on as well. So then our minimum sales price kind of turns into, for example, we have another property that the city tore down, and it's now just a lot. And there's $32,400 and something in specials because of that tear down. So the city would put those special assessments on there, and the county can't relinquish the special assessments from the city.
Yeah, so that was kind of why I wanted to do the preemptive strike, so that, because what they were billing us for tear down and removal was significantly higher than what we can probably do
Is
for
that, how many square foot is that, that building?
the house.
800 square feet on that address?
Well, according to the city's assessor
Lot
site,
is 70.
800, yep.
And a lot 70, and he was, how much to tear down? An 800 square foot house could probably fit in a roll-off dumpster.
Well, if you go look at it, that's probably not accurate, but I just did it for reference. I'm assuming that the road department can do it. When we did the Richardson one, we contracted it to a third party, and that's why the cost kind of, and, you know, based on that time of year, now, you know, you probably have a little bit of time. You have a new piece of equipment that it's all nice and shiny. You can go out there and,
What we've ran into doing these jobs, like, we had one that we had to do, in the city of Dickinson, was located, I think, north of St. Wenceslaus Church. What you run into is you also have to take a look in consideration of asbestos and all that, so you have to have that individual go in there and contractor and check that all out, so that runs into quite a bit of deep money, and then you have to get your permits and stuff, so I don't know if that's,
Have we seen asbestos being, I mean, in some of these smaller, older homes? Usually they're in.
well, the ones in
schools and-
Richardson we did,
Okay.
but I have not,
the one in the city of Dickinson as well.
okay. So
Okay.
that, but I guess I was just trying to make an economic thing, so when we talk about values, so there is a lot for sale, just 2 lots to the north of this. It's on the market at 16,000, hasn't sold yet, so that probably dictates the top of the market for a lot value. If you put any value on that detached garage, maybe you add a little bit of value there, so just information.
So if there would be an individual that would be interested in buying the place, they would have to pay, what, 14,000 is what you're looking here, what that means?
That's our recommended, approved, that's what we approved, correct?
14,000 is the minimum
Yeah.
price that you
Minimum for
approved right
that.
now.
Yep.
Okay,
And then they'd be on their own with the city condemnation.
right.
They'd have to get that straightened out.
Do you think if we offered these properties back to the cities, because I know 4 of them are the city of Dickinson, and one of them is Taylor, are they going to take them back?
Well, let's deal with this one first, I think, because this one is kind of unique, but then we can have that discussion on those other ones. City has said no on this one.
So what was that contracted bid for?
It was, I think they got out, walked around, measured, I think he said 12 to 14,000. That's the haul it away, excavate, haul fill back in and compact.
That's pretty reasonable.
Okay.
But if
Well,
you-
they're like everybody else.
Yeah.
They're just looking for a little bit of work instead of greasing and washing their excavators all the time. I'm just throwing it out there, what our wishes
The one
are.
home in Richardson, we paid over double that, didn't
Oh,
we?
yeah, significantly.
That was a much larger house too, though, I
Well,
think,
yeah,
wasn't
well,
it?
it was a little larger, but yeah.
And I don't know if this bid included the disposal fee.
Right.
So. Yeah, a demolition permit is nothing.
I mean, ultimately, we're only gonna get so much out of this property at the, right?
So we got to figure out a way of just minimizing our loss.
Yeah.
So I guess my recommendation is to allow the road department to go out, figure out what's the best path forward to get it either sold or demolished. I know we should put a deadline on this interested party, tell them they have, because the city's not gonna wait forever, so X amount of days or weeks or whatever, and then you move forward with what's you think's in our best interest.
Okay. I think we could probably handle it, but
Okay.
I'd have to see once what
Okay.
all that entails with.
Take a good look at it.
Yeah,
The
take a
city.
look.
Okay,
So, okay, thank you.
yeah,
Well, I see most of our engineers have left, but Mr. Wood is hanging in here looking for the free donut left at the end of the day. Okay, come.
Just a real brief updates on a couple different things. The kind of carryover project, the 32nd and 107 paving and seal coat project that was actually done last year. The seal coat was done last year. Finally reconciled all the quantities, got together with the prime contractor. They're in agreement with the payment. We sent in the payment request last week, so that should take care of this project. We're also have the DOT reimbursement request prepared, so after the meeting or later this week, Neil, get your signature on that, then we'll get that reimbursement from the state for that project.
Okay.
Then that should clear out that project. Project done last year, 131st and 48th over by Belfield, just one small little punch list item they'll work on when spring comes. And Todd had mentioned the flex funding. We put in those 3 applications. Unfortunately, none of them got selected, so we've kind of put a hold on those projects until funding is identified for those. So that was all I had.
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
Jeremy, did you have those sheets? Because Neil could go ahead and sign them if you want, since it's just 2, right? 2 spots?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is for the reimbursement for the flex funding project. There's a spot. Could you email me a copy when you send it to Dave? Oh, thank you, Jeremy.
Okay, it looks like we've taken the action item requested by Highland, so I don't think any of the other engineering firms need an action item from us this morning. Okay, thank you. Mr. Josephson.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Commissioners. Steve Josephson, Stark County Planning and Zoning Director. We have one item from last week's Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, the January 29th meeting, and that is approval of a minor subdivision plat for the Skyline Second Subdivision. Both the Planning and Zoning Commission and staff recommend approval, and I'm here to have any questions, answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Mr. Josephson?
No, there was just, they combined, I guess it was 3 lots, they made it into 2, so it wasn't a big issue. I'd make a motion to approve the MSP 01 2026 Skyline assets.
By Commissioner Franchuk,
And I'd second that.
second by Commissioner Claris. Any other discussion, questions? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. And then the second item is a renewal of the Dunn County Sand and Gravel Pit Conditional Use Permit that was located in the west half of Section 34, Township 139 North, Range 91. Staff recommends approval of that, and I am here to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions?
Make the approval for the Dunn County gravel pit renewal permit. That's
Motion by
permit, right?
Commissioner White.
Yes.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
By Commissioner Franchuk. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Or those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will notify the applicants.
All right. Okay, Ms. Scott.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Elena Scott, Emergency Manager for Stark County. I am looking to bring in a hazmat workshop facilitated by Teagues at a cost of $40,000, $124.01. The goal behind this workshop is to facilitate a hazmat incident that requires an EOC activation, and then testing our capabilities with our current hazmat plan and seeking any guidance or improvement plans that they recommend. For funding, I did receive a grant to pay for half of this. My LAPC has awarded me $9,000 to assist with paying for it, and then I have the rest of the money I would come out of my budget. So I'm not seeking any general fund money. Just looking to, I don't know, get approval to go forward with it, or if there's any questions on it, I'm here.
So you have the grant for half of the development, not the mobilization portion of it, is that right?
Basically, so I got a $25,000 grant. It's a cost share. So in reality, only $20,000 is really feds. The other $5,000 comes from us. So
Okay. So this bottom line out of your budget, training budget, would be
about 11.
about 11,000?
Yep.
Okay. Is this training opportunity replicated in any fashion at all around here?
Not really. They're gonna specially design this for me. There's a local company that does some. We had a full scale here about 3-4 years ago from another company that was a little local. It wasn't really well received, so I'm a little hesitant to do a local again. I think it's good to bring in a third party, especially a well-accredited third party, to come and host this and really get a good evaluation of our skills and offer an honest opinion. They have no buy-in here. They're not from here, so they're not just gonna pat us on the back and say, great job. They're gonna be truthful of how we're actually looking. They're gonna do like a small ICS class, like refresher. A lot of first responders take ICS when they're first getting a lot of their certifications, but we don't have to recert those. So some first responders are maybe 20 years past taking an ICS class. So nice, good refresher. They're gonna host the incident, the workshop, and then we're gonna do the hot wash, AR. They're gonna develop the action plan, and I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna go forward with the improvements.
So is there any opportunity for private partnership on this at all?
Private, as far as like, are you talking like marathon or?
Like an energy company saying, hey, yeah, this would be good, maybe some of our safety individuals should also attend, and we
Yeah,
co-sponsor?
I would open it up to everybody who's willing to, especially through my LAPC. I mean, I have industry partners that come to that. So I want them there. 'Cause I mean, they're gonna have more of a knowledge base, and they would be involved in a lot of these incidents, because we do seek a lot of subject matter experts when handling incidents.
Any chance they would be co-sponsors as well, or no?
I can ask, possibly.
Okay.
I'm sure they could probably get some to do
Yeah,
that.
I think they enjoy doing this kind of stuff. They like to see it come into the county. Teagues is well recognized. I mean, Marathon sends all their firefighters down there for an industrial firefighting class. I went and took the industrial firefighting class through Dickinson Fire. They do send Dickinson Fire, Dickinson rural people, any county people really. They want people trained up as well, so.
I would hope there'd be an appetite for that.
Yeah.
So kind of reduce your exposure and open up other opportunities. Okay. Any other questions? What are your wishes?
Mr. Chairman, I'd approve the training, the hazmat training. And you said there's an actual EOC component to this as well.
Yep, that's kind of why it's a little specially. When I started this process actually back in May, applied for the grant, and then I didn't get awarded that grant till October. So it's been kind of quite the process, but when I called them, because I thought it was an odd request to kind of do two capabilities in one, so they're kind of specially building this for me.
Okay. Once again, Mr. Chairman, I'd approve this training for the Stark County Emergency Management Team.
Okay, we have.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Claris, second by Commissioner Franchuk. Any other discussion, questions? Hearing none, roll call vote. Commissioner Claris.
Aye.
Commissioner Franchuk.
Aye.
Commissioner White.
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carried. Thank you.
Thanks. And to keep it on your guys' radar a little bit, so I'm hoping to host this kind of end of June, right before the library opening. I have an EOC class tentatively coming June 16th and 17th. I would like you guys all there. I know that we have to probably advertise that they're all gonna be there. So just keep it on your schedule. I think it's really important for you guys to be there, because in a real life POC, I would actually need you guys there and making some big decisions, so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Piercy, Joetta.
All right, I am here to speak on our employee assistance program. We currently use the Village as our contractor. And as Corey and I were in discussions with these mental health screenings, annual mental health screenings, the consultant we visited with said that they are currently a provider with CHI for their employee assistance program. And so if someone would want to go on and, you know, continue to be seen, they could easily transition into there and use their 8 visits with the employee assistance program. And so that led me to look into a contract with CHI. They would be willing to contract with us, and it would actually be cheaper for us to go with CHI than the Village, and we would have local in-person people that employees could see. Right now, the Village is completely virtual. There are no local people here. So I am looking for approval to change our employee assistance program provider from the Village to CHI.
Okay, any questions?
So currently, what is the utilization that we use Village?
Not very much.
Not at all, probably, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think some people reach out to EAP programs that don't provide local people, or just for some of the exclusivity of not having to know that person in your community, or?
Well, an employee assistance program in itself, your first initial contact is always, you know, over the phone typically.
Okay.
So you don't have to use a local provider. You can use a virtual. You can choose what you want.
Okay. Because I don't want Corey and I talking to the same people.
Right.
Okay, any other questions? What are your wishes?
I would make the motion to change EAP providers.
By Commissioner White,
Second.
by Commissioner Franchuk. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign, motion carries. Thank you. All right. District 5 Weed Board applicant and proposed boundary changes. Mr. Claris, do you have in one particular order or
Yeah,
not?
we can start with the applicant. We had a resignation, Michelle Zeman, she did resign, and there was a really good applicant by the name of Mr. Jack Dahl. He applied, and we discussed this at our previous weed board meeting and approved this. Everyone seems to be very much on board. He's well qualified. So I would make the motion to appoint Mr. Jack Dahl to the Stark County Weed Board.
For District 5.
For District 5.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Claris. Can I get a second?
Second.
By Commissioner White. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign, motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, we have another, it's a little bit odd, but we have, I think on our, on top there is that is the Weed Board District map as it has been for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, I believe. Anyway, we've had a vacancy down in District 4 for some time now, and it's probably one of our least populated districts. And there was some pretty broad discussion and at our last weed board meeting, and we'd like to propose changing the border of District 4 and add a township, I believe that's 13998, into that district and bring and swap. It's basically a swap. It's a township swap, and bring 13899 into the District 1. The rationale behind this is to bring the city of South Art and, you know, it's not just the city of South Ark, but it would take it all the way up to the interstate, and there's quite a bit more population to the north there, and the rationale is to increase the population and the pool, potential pool for new members.
Okay,
In
any
a nutshell.
questions? Any questions statutorily? No problem doing that?
Have you guys, we ran into this a while back. Have you thought about just not districting the weed board?
Well, I think the last time we were trying to appoint somebody who did not live in the district to the board.
Yeah, and then when we found that out, then we undistricted it for a while, and then we redistricted it. I'm just wondering, I mean, I don't know, this isn't for me, it's for the board, how much real interest you have in the weed board if the districts are actually doing you harm. If they're not, I mean, if you're getting people from these districts to fill in, then fine, but if you're not and you need a better or a bigger pool, then maybe you just look at not districting it at all. I don't know, that's, again, not a decision for me, it's just a statutory option that you
I
have.
think the weed board is good with the way it is, the districts. I think we get a nice representation across the county. I mean, it does obviously give us some limitations of finding members sometimes in this particular case. And like I said, this is not a large change. It's bringing a little bit of a population center into District 4, you know, just hoping to increase that pool a little bit and get some applicants. And I believe that this will actually help. There's quite a few farmers and
Yeah.
ranchers in this area, in the new area. That would be great representation for District 4, so.
So the one thing with, it just has to be either contiguous or not have any at all, so, you know,
Okay.
all borders touching, so yeah, I mean, it looks like you've got a.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you make that motion?
I'm gonna make a motion to change the District 1, Stark County Weed Board map or district map to include 138, Township 138, Range 99, and to include Township 13998 in the District 4 district.
Okay, so do we have a motion? Do we have a second?
I'll second.
By Commissioner Franchuk. Any other discussion, questions? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
I guess I would add one more thing. I mean, we'd like to advertise again, Joetta, if we could, for a new. Still out there? Okay, okay, very good, thank you. Sure.
Okay, 2026 state aid distribution formula. Ms. Richard.
So these are the current percentage allocations that we have for our state aid distribution from the state. This is what we had for a little while. This is 25's percentages. We used 25's percentages to do 26 January's distribution. And now I'm bringing it before the commission to see if you wanted any changes done to the distribution formula. It also gives you a good chance to see, well, this is January's most recent dollar amounts that were distributed to these entities.
Just one question, curious, the January 26th, that number of 232, is it consistent with 25?
I mean, it's actually 232 was a little bit higher. I want to say it got lower in the end of 25. You know, we kind of, it seemed like we were ranging from like 170 something to in the early 200s. I usually average, when I look at the budget, about 200 is usually what I average a month. But I mean, we know that this is very up and down depending on what's going on with oil. So the ones that I guess I had questions on is we still have that road special projects fund. You have 18% of our state aid distribution going into that fund, and there still hasn't been anything tied to that. That fund is at about $1 million now. And then the other ones that I had question on was the senior citizens one, that is 1%. I have been going back and forth with them. We do have a Stark County Council on Aging. That's where those dollars are going, but we are kind of in a little bit of a conundrum with some of their funding and spending. And so I don't know if you want to wait for that to get kind of cleaned up and then reenact doing a distribution. That Southwest Health, you know, we did lower that one. It used to be higher. Now we're at 2%. It used to be quite a bit higher. But we're offsetting all the counties together when I do the levy certificate, right? So there's all of these counties together that make up Southwest District Health certificate. And so we don't want that to be super high because then we're just offsetting all the other counties' costs. So just looking to see what the commission would like to do as far as
Yeah.
if they wanted any changes.
Yeah, I think my recommendation would be leave as is. You're right, the road special projects pot has increased, but if you look what's happened this year, for example, we just were told we got 3 flex pace applications rejected. I think that's going to be more common than less common. And so when we have a project, I think we can dive into that and get that funded again without, you know, I just think the intent was that, and I think at this point it's still a good path forward unless somebody thinks otherwise.
I'm with you.
Is there talk about combining the county road and special projects combined?
That road special projects was a fund created, I think, maybe a year and a half ago. So it was all just into county road originally. So it's just up
But
to the
that's almost
commission.
like a savings account versus the county road. That's money that they get and spend.
I mean, but you do have appropriations in the county road as well. It's not the total amount that they don't spend their entire county road fund. That's the entire county road fund.
16,000 a month?
Is going into the overall county road fund.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. What are your wishes?
Mr. Chairman, I would move to maintain this spreadsheet as is.
Okay, the current distribution by Commissioner Claris. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
By Commissioner White. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Right.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
We have to approve Bailey Elkins raise too.
Yes, I see a nod. I see a nod. So,
Hey, do you have a couple park board commission items maybe?
well, the expenses were already in the thing. So those two, so both Bailey's adjustment and the creation and funding of the additional assistant position. Okay, sounds like Mr. Franchuk wants to make that motion.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Do you remember the amount?
Was it 2275?
2275?
73, I think it was 2273.
For Bailey, and then I think, are we doing the wage study for the next gallows?
We never discussed that.
I thought you had a.
Oh, you just have a, that's total, yeah, for hourly is 2273.
2273.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Franchuk, second by Commissioner White. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote, Commissioner Franchuk.
Aye.
Commissioner White.
Aye.
Commissioner Claris.
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carried. Okay, couple other items. Huh?
The fair board, I still have the check,
Okay,
because that's part of park board stuff, so.
yeah. So there is a question in regards to the funding for the Fair Board Association. I think we typically gave them 1/2 mil,
Yes, a half a mil.
half a
Yeah.
mil, which equates to,
I think it was 125. Does that sound right, Lana? 125?
okay, and then was, so part of the discussion or conversation was, is that the way we're going forward? If it is, it's already been budgeted for, we should authorize the forwarding of that check, but if there's a different path forward, then we probably need to do something fairly
we-
quick.
We currently, we wrote the check, but we have it held in the office because I have concerns with some of the bookkeeping and stuff that's going on the Fair Board side. You know, they did come to us and said that, they stopped in, said that they didn't have any of their 1099s updated. We're asking us about that. They also were talking about how they have Bailey doing their book work right now, but they were having issues with their account signing, and I just don't necessarily feel comfortable handing over them $125,000 unless some of these issues are resolved. But I want to see what the commission feels like, and maybe Bernie has 2 cents on it.
I might have a nickel. It's just there, I mean, so I'm supposed to be a leadership figure there. I guess, I don't know if I'm totally in that right place or not. After Lisa had a lot of control of everything that went on, we were dumping a lot of stuff on Bailey. There was some issues because one of the people that was on the signing card left, and then we had to get new signing cards. You gotta go through meetings and all the other crap before the bank will let you change the cards. And so there's been a lot of frustration and running back and forth.
I'd ask
You know, I guess, right, I know right now we decided that we're gonna find somebody to update the website and go forward with a little contract on that. It's a group of volunteers that try and give their time, but nobody really has time to give. And without, you know, with this events coordinator, we'd have hired somebody for that. Maybe there could have been some leadership there. I guess I don't know where to go with it.
I'd ask one question. Was there a budget submitted for $125,000, a budget request for $125,000?
So they did submit a budget. Their former treasurer, who doesn't live in Stark County anymore, did submit a budget. She said she wasn't sure how accurate it was because, yet again, that was something that Lisa did on the computer. And I'm just, you know, we have Bailey doing their book work. I'm not sure how the board feels about Bailey doing all of the Fair Board's book work and giving them a $125,000 check.
Who assigned Bailey to do that? Because that's not part of her job scope that she was hired for. So who assigned that to Bailey?
Well, I think
You know,
that,
Bailey just stepped into anything and everything that was left vacant. I mean, she's
Okay.
a good person. She stepped into doing whatever she could do to help out.
Well, going back
Okay.
to the subject of the budget, everyone else that comes up here and asks for money ends up with the budget in front of us, and that's the number that we approve as a group, and that's what we give them. This idea that there's just automatic payment from this county to that fair association, and whether it's a $500,000, we can go up to 4 mils, from what I understand. Correct?
Thought it was 2.
Or maybe it's
Go
2.
ahead.
I mean,
airport's for.
I think it's
but
two.
but there's a lot of assumptions that are being made, and I'd like to see a budget. I'd like to see what, can you?
I do have the draft budget that was presented, that was sent over kind of last minute. Because I told her, I did tell them that I needed something. I'm just a little bit concerned with how things are currently structured on the Fair Board side, and you are talking about us giving them a check for a significant, that's significant amount of money.
so could we put a list of requirements forth, such as their annualized budget, those kind of things, before they get the check, and if they can get that to us in the next, I'm assuming they don't have a big urgency of spending money in early February. So if we could get that budget, get the concerns that are being addressed, filled, and then we could take action on the 19th to forward those proceeds. If not, we just continue to ask for what is needed for everybody to feel comfortable. I don't know if that make any sense.
And I just want the commission to agree on that, because as it feels right now is that my office is just holding the check. Whereas I want the commission to understand that this is where the concerns are.
Okay.
I don't think it's unreasonable for us to request a little bit of documentation.
Okay.
Any other comments?
So I think you need a motion on that, because at the last meeting, you made a motion to pay it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Claris, would you like to make that a motion?
Are we gonna, you wanna touch on this? Are we gonna do this special meeting in February?
Well, at this point, we'll have a meeting on the 19th, so I think what I would recommend is you authorize the auditor to gather the information.
Yes.
And reports that are necessary to have them come in kind of compliance with our wishes.
Yeah, I think there just needs to be a little roundup here. I would make that motion that we'd like to see further documentation from the Fair Association prior to releasing the check for $125,000.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
By Commissioner Franchuk. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Pose same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay. Mr. Marsh, you want to address home rule discussion?
Well, I guess I didn't get a chance to go through the stuff that Karen sent out. So I don't know if there's any more interest in pursuing a home rule charter. But because there's other pluses to being a home rule other than doing a sales tax, which now I think will be behind the wall again with the city going forward with their sales tax proposal. And maybe we support theirs and ask it for a bigger percentage, I don't know, but I just know that at the last meeting, we said we would bring it up at this meeting to see what people's opinions are on it, if we should pursue it or not.
Okay. I mean, there is a process. Does anybody else have any questions? I mean, we did at our Association of Counties workshop in December discuss this and kind of got the consensus that without revenue actions, there are limited benefits of home rule charter. One of them would be the ability to appoint elected officials versus elect them. So we could hire the state's attorney, we could hire the auditor versus election. Some of the other ordinance powers that are in there, most of them I do not see in a big, move the needle for our county. Karen did send out this Walsh County Charter, which I think she had sent out previously when this was discussed. So if you go through there, those kind of things, I think this is a cause looking for a leader. And so if we're going to do it, let's figure it out. But at this point, I think without the revenue aspects, unless you're going to do a countywide gas tax or a countywide excise tax, that those are greatly diminished powers because the other things aren't really, you can't do anything that the legislature doesn't authorize you to do. Now, that may change once the feedback and we go through one cycle of 3% property tax caps and spending. That may change, but at this point, fairly limited benefits.
Well, I mean, if we want to drop it, we'll drop it. I just thought it was a good time to
Yeah,
do that.
no, I have no problem discussing it. Especially in light of what was in front of us earlier. Okay, any other comments, Mr. Marsh?
Nope, that's it. I mean,
Okay,
I just wanted to see what people's opinion was on it at this point.
okay.
I guess I would bring back up the city's presentation. What's
Yeah.
logistically, what do we need to do?
So
going
what I would
forward
like to do is a couple of things. Number one, coordinate walkthroughs with all interested and affected parties by the potential of the acquisition of the armory. So we either can, pick a time and have everybody show up. I think it's easier if we just tell them to leave it open on a particular day and you go over at your leisure, or drag another individual with you. Don't drag three. And then get a grasp what's there. We will, the way the purchase agreement will be drafted, it will give us a certain amount of time to do due diligence. So environmental research, remodeling research, those kind of things. So we would enter potentially into a contract that would give us extra time to look at those items, and then we'd have to hire a professional to take a look at it and make some recommendations.
So the idea is us to view between now and the 19th, is that?
Whatever, yeah, if the 19 works, it sounds like we probably, are we gonna do a meeting for us at 1 and then the park board at 2?
We can.
What's the wishes?
But anyway,
Okay.
so, but we'll have the MOU and,
Yes.
we'll have the purchase agreement in front of us. We'll have an opportunity to look at that property, make a decision whether or not we want to actually go forward with that. And then secondly, this safety tax business, at what point do we make any decisions about whether we're going to enter in that MOU with the city?
Yeah, my thing is I think we have to do that at the same time because they have a certain amount of lead time they have to get this on the ballot, and it'd be almost,
Is this approved or is this just proposed by the city? Because I can already say that they're gonna have to change this bottom part here. So did they already put this through the city commission meeting or?
no.
Okay,
They have, I think the statute says they have to adopt 60 days before the actual election. So they hope to get this all done in March.
So
Okay.
But they have a draft MOU out.
Yes,
Yes,
yep,
which
and that
we'll-
was,
we'll all get a
they had
copy.
forwarded it to Amanda for her review as well.
All right.
And again, the building is a three-step process, not two. So you move and you get, so we do this step, you do the inspection or enter into a contract, have all the conditions met, and then if the conditions are met, you move forward, and if the conditions are not met, then you allow them to go another direction.
So they approached us on the building, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's been casual conversation with potential of changes up at the LEC. The sheriff doesn't like getting rained on a frequent basis, so the initial thing was to potentially take part of this and roll that space into.
And if I remember back sometime, this is just my thought process, they hired a contracting company to come and put the roof on that building at one point, right?
That's years
And it
ago.
fell off and then.
Years ago.
And then they had to redo it again?
I believe the roof issue is not an issue.
Okay. But I remember it was a.
Yes, it was an issue.
A non-contractor that
Yep.
put it up and,
Yep.
okay.
Okay, so, go ahead, Bernie.
As far as the safety thing that's going on with the city, I know that when we went in on this ambulance thing, they were gonna give us reports, like quarterly or something, and at the end of the year, we haven't heard anything, or maybe in January, Paul? Do you have any idea when they plan on giving us a report on how that thing's going?
So we met with them in, when is that?
budgeting.
Yeah, budget season, we met, they actually do theirs quite early, so I think that was like May or so of 25, we met with them for budget. I might be wrong on the date, but we did, Karen and I were in a room with them, for the budget.
It was after the preliminary was approved, because we told them that we had budgeted a certain dollar amount, because they were actually gonna ask the county for more, but I told them they couldn't ask for more unless they came
Yeah.
because we had I'd already put 500,000 in the line.
They did come,
Right.
they came to our commission meeting at least once during
Budget.
budget, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we should get a
I know, but
year-end
once
report.
it got rolling, once they got rolling, they said they were gonna come quarterly and give a report on how it's going, and so it started July 1st, that was a half a year at the end of 26 or 25, whatever year it was. I would like to see some sort of report on, on
I know
where
not.
it's all going, possibly.
I agree with you, Bernie. We could sure request for them, they're very forthright with information, they'd come and see us. So we should maybe get them on our next commission meeting, just to have a little recap of 25 and how things are in 26 so far.
And they'll only have 2 quarters in 25, correct? Or is it 3 quarters they'll have?
Right, yeah.
2
2
quarters.
quarters, yeah.
But I mean, still a quarterly report with, the investment that we made in it, I don't think that's asking a lot.
I agree.
Agreed.
I'll send them an email and see if they want to come in and give an update in the March meeting.
Yes, an update would be great,
Okay,
because March is already a third of the year, fourth of the year through this year.
okay. Any other items? If not, I don't believe we have any public comments.
You have
Not
to make
on
a
the
motion
agenda.
for the special meeting or not?
Yeah, either that I could call it, but yeah, if we're okay with a special county commission meeting
Sorry, my door is ringing.
at 1 o'clock on February 19th.
Sounds good.
Okay,
I'll second that motion.
Is public comments open?
yes.
Sorry. Yes, hi, this is Jody Kuntz. I'm sorry, I have been listening, and I want to thank the commission and chairman for doing such an excellent job of keeping Stark County well ahead financially and with stability in the state of North Dakota through this road that we went through. I am home, and I just had a couple concerns that I just wanted to address with the commission quick. One, I'm a EMT now, and I really want to push support for any type of funding that can be given to EMTs in the county. Sheriff carries a big load, the ambulance, the fire department. I know firsthand what it's like to have to go to an emergency and not have the resources that you need, or be scrambled, strapped, and it costs life. And I think the safety of our community really needs to be addressed. Second thing I wanted to bring up was just some road concerns I have coming home. I do have a federal highway traffic control safety supervisor certification since 2008, and I'm just concerned with some of the roads, the lack of delineation, and some of the signage I think could be improved. And I would like to see that improved upon, and that goes along with EMS safety. We've had some road changes in the county. Maybe I grew up here and know these roads back of my hand, and I come out and when it's foggy or rainy and you can't see, especially in an emergency situation, it's very difficult. So I'd like to see maybe a little more funding in that part. And what was the third thing I was going to say? Oh, the third thing I wanted to address concerning safety of the citizens was last week I received a report, and saw a report, there were several reports, about the increased spike of stomach cramping Thursday and Friday in the community. And I feel that needs to be addressed and looked at. Was it air quality? Was it water quality? What happened in our community with an attack? We are at tumultuous times in our world, and we're not immune from that. So if we need heightened security, we need to look at different avenues of ways we can keep our people safe, ground turbulences, things like that. So those were the three things that I just wanted to bring forth to the commission and let you know that I'm home and will be helping out as much as I possibly can in the area, and I want to thank you. And that's all.
Thank you. I don't know if that's something we can get information on, the last item she addressed, but it would be of interest, but thank you, okay. Anybody else for public comments on the phone? No, nobody else, okay. I would entertain a motion to adjourn. By Commissioner White, by Commissioner Claris, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.